How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Huh? You say 69? You ever been married? Did you go by, let me ask you, did you go by the saying happy wife? Did you go by that?
Was she the boss lady?
She was the boss lady. She wore the pants in the house.
Come on.
This is year 16. I'm going to show y'all something. Because Eve in the beginning, she wanted to be equal with Adam. And it's never about equality. It's always about usurping and authority over the man.
Right.
I'm going to show y'all something real quick, alright? Because a lot of times what we learn in church is all we got to do is just do what? Say, God, I love you, forgive me for whatever I did, right? Is that true?
We hope.
You hope so? First John 2. Read that.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Did y'all hear that? So if you love the Lord, what you must do? Keep the commandments. Keep the commandments. We all agree upon that, right? Have church taught y'all that the laws are done away with?
No. He said he forgot about them.
Yeah, you forgot about them. But that's what church teach you.
What?
Church teach you to forget the law, but the Bible just said, if you love the Lord, you're going to do what? Keep the commandments.
Right.
Keep the commandments. We all agree? Yes? We agree? We agree? So what commandments are y'all keeping? To show the Lord.
I ain't killing nobody.
You ain't killing nobody? Okay, all praise. What about you?
I mean, I don't still make sacrifices.
You make sacrifices? Okay. And what's that?
What that mean?
You're not going to hurt no one? What that mean?
About sacrifice?
Yeah, about the sacrifice.
Basically, like going on a fast with certain things, like not cussing for a couple months, not smoking. I don't really drink, just making a sacrifice.
So you saying not cussing is making a sacrifice?
Yeah, like towards a fast. Like if you go on a fast, I'm not going to eat this for this such amount of time. Just fasting.
Right. You understand that during the fast, you're supposed to be purging out all of those impurities within you. Meaning, all those things that you battle with, boy, smoking. Right? You're fasting to stop those things, not to go back to it. First, you gotta understand what sin is. Do you know what sin is? Sin, yes. What is sin? Sin is cussing. What you say? What sin is? Huh? You say when you do something wrong. And what you say sin is? You say stealing? Okay, let's read out the Bible to find out what sin is. Read that.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
It says, whosoever committeth sin transgress or break the law. Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the breaking of God's commandments. Is that talking about one commandment? Or all of it? Y'all heard of Romans chapter 8. Y'all heard for the wages of sin is what? The wages of sin, meaning the cost behind sin is what? The cost behind sin. If you sin, what does that amount to? Consequences, right? Let's see what the Bible says. Read that.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
So whenever we sin, just like smoking, that's the cause of death. Right? Whenever we break the Lord's Sabbath, that's the cause of death. Because a lot of us, automatically, we're not stealing, we're not killing, right? We honoring our parents, right? And a lot of times when we honor our parents, we classify that as giving them gifts, right? On Mother's Day or Father's Day, right? Those are the things that we do. Read that again.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
So what about the Lord's Sabbath day? What about smoking? What type of judgment comes behind smoking? You said yeah? What you say? Yeah. Say that again? Could be many things. You say the same thing? What's on the back of any of the cigarette cartons or Black and Mild cartons?
Surgeon General warning.
It says Surgeon General warning, right? It says that it may cause what? May cause, knowing that we have that warning, we're still going to do it anyway. Because we don't think that's the consequences behind it. You see what I'm saying? The Bible says, for the wages of sin is death. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Now, what we're going to go into right now is curses that's coming upon the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, for breaking God's commandments. Even by just smoking, just using that as an example of the consequences behind it. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law,
because cancer is not written in the book, right? But we know for a fact, a lot of times when we do catch cancer, where does it stem from? Smoking. Smoking. It says it on the card. That a thing called cancer. Cancer isn't written right here, but that is one of the things that we fall into. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
Who's married? You married? You still in high school? You got a girlfriend? You got a boyfriend? No? You got a girlfriend? You married? You not married? You got a girlfriend? Okay, what about you? You got a girlfriend? You married? Not? You got a girlfriend? Okay, read this again. Because, you know, the Bible says that we're supposed to be married, not having boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So what goes around with speaking from person to person to person? You say energy? You get energy from sleeping from person to person to person?
Not in a good way, but it's a such thing as swapping energy with somebody you sleep with. Right.
So, yeah, I get you. So a lot of times, they're swapping energy is called an STD. That's what it is. It's an STD, sexually transmitted disease. That's what we're swapping. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's going rampant in our community because we're breaking God's commandments. Read that again.
Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Because the law says that we should commit what? Adultery, right?
Right.
Meaning we're supposed to be married, having one wife, and the bed is undefiled.
Right.
But if we're sleeping around, guess what we're going to catch? We're going to catch that energy.
Right.
The energy have us running back and forth to the doctor like we're a track star.
Right.
That's the only energy we have. And we see it's running rapid in our community. But we don't see an issue with it. Why? Because we're not being taught God's commandments and the judgments behind it.
Right.
Y'all understand? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Huh? You say 69? You ever been married? You been married? So how was that marriage? Now, we're speaking in front of these young men right here because guess what? The aged men supposed to teach the young men. You said up and down? So let me ask you, did you have God's commandments in your marriage? Or was it without the Bible? You went by the Bible? So if you went by the Bible, why did you last? It wasn't. Did you go by, let me ask you, did you go by the saying happy wife? Did you go by that?
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life. Yeah, did you go by that saying? You tried to.
She was the boss.
You see that? Was she the boss lady? She was the boss lady. She wore the pants in the house.
Come on.
She didn't wear pants?
Come on.
She wore a dress all the time? She never wore pants? So, but even then, the saying that happy wife, happy life, showing that you're going to submit yourself to her well-being,
Right.
to please her, which causes disorder in the household, which is not being taught. Because what's the order in the household that we must follow? What's the order? Is it 50-50?
That's what it's supposed to be.
You said it's supposed to be. Was it 50-50 in your marriage? It wasn't? What was it, 60-40 she lead? You said 60-40 you lead? That's still too much power for her.
That's right.
That's what Eve wanted in the beginning. Eve wanted to have that power, that equal amount of power. Genesis 20? Genesis 3. Genesis 3 and 16. Genesis 3 and 16. I'm going to show y'all something. Because Eve in the beginning, she wanted to be equal with Adam. And it's never about equality. It's always about usurping the authority over the man.
Right.
That's right.
Because she always try to use her will, her secret part to make her bend in her will. That's what they always have here, correct? They try to withhold that thing. Well, watch this, read that.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
You see that? Her desire means anything that she wants, she's supposed to be doing to her husband. Why did the Lord have to do this? Have to put this in place? Have to set everything back in order.
Because the woman supposed to follow the man.
So what did she do?
Yeah, she did the opposite.
She did the opposite. She wasn't following her man. She started following another man. So the Lord had to put her back in place.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community.